Good morning, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us. My name is Asher Ratkin, and I'm on the global business marketing team here at Facebook. We are really excited to talk to you today about messaging best practices for your business. In this webinar, we're going to cover how small and medium-sized businesses can get started with Messenger, including different ways to help customers connect with your business on this channel, as well as tips for using some of Messenger's features to help you most effectively and efficiently communicate with people. A few housekeeping items before we get started. This webinar will be about 10 to 15 minutes of content followed by Q&A, so about 30 minutes all in. And a recording of this webinar will be linked in the follow-up email that we'll be sending out later this week. If you have any questions that come up during the webinar, please enter your question in the questions window of the GoToWebinar control panel on your screen. We'll try to get to as many questions as we can by the end of this webinar. All right, let's get started. Messaging between businesses and people has been growing steadily on Facebook and other platforms for the last few years. Pages have opened the door to being able to message businesses on Facebook, and today over 1 billion messages are sent between people and pages on Messenger each month. Messaging from your page helps businesses conveniently connect with people about everything from customer service requests to questions about products, services, and businesses. As page admins consider turning on messaging for their page or using new messaging features, you may wonder how best to use messaging as a business communication channel. Here are our recommendations on using messaging most effectively. First things first, if you haven't already done so, feel free to turn on messaging when you are ready. Messaging is a feature that page admins can turn on and off for their page. Once you enable messaging for your page, people are going to expect you to respond. So turn on messaging only when you can commit to responding to messages. On desktop, you can access page messaging settings by clicking on Settings at the top of your page. From there, select General and click Messages. Here, you can check or uncheck the box next to Allow people to contact your page privately. You can do this on mobile as well in the Pages Manager app by clicking on the message icon and then selecting Enable. Once you've turned messaging on, there are a number of ways to encourage customers to initiate conversations with you on Messenger. People can message your business directly from your page by clicking on the Message button. And we recently introduced Messenger links, which businesses can use to make it fast and easy for people to start a message thread with them. Messenger links use a page's username to create a short and memorable link, m.me/your-page's username, that when clicked, open a conversation with the business in Messenger. Add your username to the end of the URL, m.me/your-username, to get your Messenger link. Businesses are now also searchable within Messenger by username. And finally, Messenger codes work much like Messenger links. These are unique codes that people can scan within the Messenger mobile app to open a message thread with your business. Businesses can use Messenger links and Messenger codes in ads on their website or in any other marketing channel such as email or social media to prompt people to reach out to them directly. Messenger code images are available for download in your page's inbox on World Wide Web. On Facebook, pages can run local awareness ads using the send message call to action that will allow customers to initiate conversations with a page directly from an ad. Local awareness ads allow businesses to reach people that live near your business, whether within walking distance or a few miles away. To run local awareness ads, select the Reach People Near Your Business objective when creating a campaign. All right, now that you know how to get set up with messaging and some ways that you can drive people to message your business, let's talk about how to go about managing all those messages. First and foremost, you will want to have a plan in place to be responsive to incoming messages. Depending on how many messages you anticipate, consider assigning a person or a team of people to take the lead on monitoring and responding to messages. If you have initiatives underway encouraging people to message you, such as running ads with a send message call to action, or including your Messenger link in an email, there are a number of tools available to help you efficiently and effectively manage incoming messages. We'll get into more detail around that in the next few slides. We would also suggest that you use our Pages mobile app. We often hear from businesses that this app is extremely helpful in communicating with customers at any time and from anywhere. In addition to having a plan, we suggest that you set a response time to help set expectations with customers. Setting reasonable expectations is the key to establishing a good relationship with your customers via messaging. Response signals show up in the About section of your page and in the chat window when someone messages your page. They tell people when they can expect a response from your business. Page admins can choose to show that they respond either within minutes, within an hour, within hours, or within a day. Set a response time for your page that is accurate to set expectations with people sending you messages and to establish response time guidelines for the people on your team in charge of responding to those messages. If you respond to 90% of messages within 15 minutes, you're going to earn a very responsive to messages badge. While we don't expect every page to meet this threshold, we recommend being as responsive as possible in order to build trust and rapport with your customers. Now let's talk about features that we've built to help both you and your customers use messaging most efficiently. Messenger greetings are customizable notes from the business that appear in a new message thread before messages are sent. Businesses can use this text to greet people and to set a friendly tone when letting people know what type of messages are expected. This is a great alternative to an instant reply, as it sets expectations before someone even messages you for the very first time. You can set and edit your greeting in your page's message settings. A business might use this to proactively provide a link to FAQs or to quickly connect a customer with information or anything else that might be top of mind. Businesses also have the option of turning on instant replies, which will send an automated reply to anyone who messages their page. Where appropriate, this feature can be used to greet customers and thank them for reaching out before someone is able to respond to them personally. There are a number of different ways this feature can be used depending on the type of business. For example, a local bakery that receives a lot of messages about their daily cupcake selection might use this feature to proactively share what flavors are available that day in advance of responding personally to the message. The Saved Replies feature helps page admins respond quickly to high volumes of messages asking similar questions. We recommend using these for responses such as frequently asked questions, like your business hours and the details of your return policies. For one-off questions from people, we do recommend sending a personal reply. Page admins can now reply with private messages to comments left on their page, helping them respond to personal requests and to help them handle customer-specific information more effectively. Consider using private replies to respond to page comments about billing questions, sensitive customer inquiries, order status, and other topics that may be best worked out directly and privately. Continue to reply publicly to general business questions and requests, where your public answers will be useful to other page visitors. Anytime you're away from your computer or phone for a period of time, you can turn on away messages to let your customers know that you will respond soon. This allows you to keep your responsiveness rating and to help you set reasonable expectations with your customers. For example, a business might use this during the hours they are closed if they are only able to respond to messages during business hours. Messaging is a direct and personal communication channel, so we encourage you to check your tone and make sure that it's friendly and respectful. Write to your customers in the same way that you would want to speak to them in person. It's also important to think about the context of messaging before you reply to or initiate a message with a customer. You can use context cards within your page's inbox to get public information on your customers, such as their local time, where they live, and more before crafting a response. Context cards can be used by the team managing your business's messages to add labels or notes that help surface information that may be important when responding. Data in the context card can be helpful in providing a personalized response, while labels and notes will allow your business to enhance and customize customer experience by transferring and tracking information between team members. Messages are immediate by nature, meaning they have the ability to get attention of the recipient right away. So we suggest using messaging to provide updates, like shipping notifications and order confirmations, and for other conversation topics that really are best discussed in real time. For broader marketing communications, we recommend that you consider boosting a post from your page or running ads. Facebook messages don't have a character limit, but we still recommend keeping your messages short and to the point. Be clear about which question you're answering and which action you recommend. You may also consider signing your messages with your name, not just the business name, in order to personalize the communication. Thank you for taking the time to hear about our efforts to make Facebook the best place to build a mobile presence for your business. We're happy to say that these features are just the beginning. We are deeply passionate about helping businesses grow with and on Facebook, and pages are core to that mission. So we're going to open up the line for questions now. So the first question that came in is, what's the difference from messaging from Facebook versus Messenger? And that's a great question. So to be clear, we're talking about entry points here. So what that means is if an individual messages your business directly from a page, or if they choose to message you directly from Messenger, for all intents and purposes from the consumer's perspective, it's exactly the same. The main distinction is going to be on your end as a page admin. If a message is sent to your page, you're going to be able to find that message either in the page inbox on the web or within the page inbox in your page's mobile app. So it's slightly different for you as an admin, but for an individual from the consumer perspective, it's effectively the same experience as if they were messaging a friend. Okay, this is a question from Jeff. Can instant replies be used to game the quick response badge? While I appreciate your ingenuity, the answer is no. And I would also add that we don't want to encourage anybody to game the system. And what I mean by that is it's okay to not be 100% responsive. And what I mean by that is nobody is going to expect you to respond to their messages immediately. This is what we meant when we said setting reasonable expectations are key to having a good relationship with your customers. If I send a message to a cupcake shop and the reply I get back says, we'll be sure to get back to you within the next few hours, that's okay, because you've set an expectation about when you're going to get back to me. If I send a message off and there's no reply and no response indicator, it can be a little challenging and frustrating. So I don't think you need to worry about having the world's most responsive badge. I think you should focus more on just setting reasonable expectations with your customers. Here's a question from Howard. He'd like to know, are these features available globally? And the answer is yes. All right, we have another question coming in. So how does my page get a very responsive badge? So the very responsive to messages badge shows people which pages respond quickly and consistently to private messages. So to get the badge below your page's cover photo, your page must have achieved both of the following in the last 7 days. You need a response rate of 90%, or a response time on average of 15 minutes. And when your page has that badge, anyone can see it. When your page doesn't have the badge, only people who manage your page can check the responsiveness info on your page. So again, to be clear, while we definitely encourage people to be as responsive as possible, remember, it's expectation setting that is critical. Here's a great question from Will. Can I initiate a conversation with a customer through Messenger? So you can't reach out to a customer who hasn't spoken to you through messaging before unsolicited. So in other words, if I'm a business and I see a customer commenting on my page, I can reply privately to them in the feature I described earlier. However, if I'm a business and I see that a customer has liked my page, I can't just reach out to them and proactively speak to them. Now, that doesn't mean that we won't look into such features in the future, but we want to just be respectful of the fact that this is a very personal channel and want to make sure that we're just empowering customers to take the first step and businesses to be highly responsive. While that might change in the future, right now, if you want someone to talk to you on Messenger, I would recommend that you proactively encourage them to do so. This is a question from Ramon. Can you enable away messages if you do not have business hours? Yes. Okay, here's a question from Tanya. Hi, how to create my Messenger code? Is it for use on a product package? This is a great question. Yes, you can totally use it on a product package. That's a great idea. So to find it, if you go into your page inbox on the web, in the lower left-hand corner of the page inbox, you're going to see a little logo that looks like a messenger code. If you click that, that'll let you download that image, and you are more than welcome to put that image anywhere you like, on a product package, within your advertising, anywhere you have the right to do that. So highly recommended. And remember, your personal branding, so your page's profile photo, is going to be the image that's featured in the center of the page. So that's going to give you a degree of personalization. That's a great question. Thank you so much. Here's a good question from the field. What is unique about Facebook's messaging compared to other messaging services out there? It's a great question. So what I'd say is that it's connected to Facebook. That's the primary value for you as a business. We could get into the details of feature by feature, but I think the main value is with over 1.6 billion people who use Facebook and many millions of businesses. This is the first messaging system that's ever been fully integrated into a network of that size. So I think the best value here, if you want to think about us relative to the market, is that your customers are already here, and it's just a very simple and effective way for them to reach out to you without having to download any additional applications. That's a great question. Okay, here's another question from James. So to clarify on how businesses see messages coming in, if it's a private message, then we see it in our inbox as usual. If it's a messenger message, where do we see it? Okay, great question. So let's just hammer through the semantics here. Page messaging, or messaging from a page, and sending a message in Messenger, from the perspective of a consumer, are exactly the same thing. For you as a business, if the message is being sent to your business, so your page, then you will find those messages within your inbox under the Page tab, or in your Page's mobile app. If someone is sending you a message to your profile, so you as a person, so person-to-person communication, then you will find it within Messenger. So if it's coming to you as a business, your message will be within the Page inbox. If it's coming to you as an individual, so not associated with your business, you will find it within Messenger. Here's a question from Emma. Please, can you talk a bit about the username for your business's page? Absolutely. So you may recall that we allow you, when you sign up for a page, to create a vanity URL for your page. So that might be facebook.com/yourpagename. That page name is your username. So for example, if your company was called Jasper's Market, then and your short URL for Facebook was facebook.com/Jasper's Market, then your username is Jasper's Market. It's a great question. Okay, here's a question in from Red. Can you touch on using ads in conjunction with Messenger? And is this widely available to all advertisers yet? Okay, this is another really fabulous question. I want to differentiate a couple of things here. So when we were talking about using ads with Messenger, we were talking about using ads to promote sending a message, not advertising within Messenger, an important distinction. So we do allow you to run ads that encourage people to message you. The simplest way to do that is with a local awareness ad. And with local awareness ads, much like other Facebook advertising, you can choose the call to action that works best for your business. In this case, you could choose send message. So for example, if we use Jasper's Market again, if I ran that market and I was releasing a limited release product, for example, I might say, hey, anybody interested in this really awesome ice cream that I only have 50 cartons of, message me if you're interested. Then somebody could just click the message now button within that local awareness ad. And since they're nearby, they'll be sure not to get melty ice cream. And that would just open up a message thread directly with me. As far as advertising within Messenger, that's something that we are exploring as a business, but not something that is available to anybody right now. Okay, here's another question from Ramon. Will you see any indication in your inbox of whether a message happened as a result of an ad? That is a fantastic question. We don't currently offer that sort of tracking, but that is feedback I will pass to the product team. Thank you for that. All right, we have time for one more question or two more questions. So I want to just answer, what is the difference between an away message and instant reply? So instant replies are messages sent automatically as your page's first response to new messages. For example, you can use your instant reply message to let customers know that you'll get back to them soon or to thank them for contacting your page. When you set your page's messaging status to away, people who are going to visit your page can see that you're away in the About section on the left side of your page. In addition, they will receive an away message that you can configure for your page. And also, if you've added business hours to your page, you can automatically set your page's messaging status to away when your business is closed. I think we are coming to the end of our questions. We have one more here from Miguel. My customers are in different regions of the world. Can they message me from different countries? Absolutely. Anybody with a Messenger account or a Facebook account. As a side note, you do not need a Facebook account to use Messenger. So anyone who is on Messenger can message your business from anywhere in the world that they have access to Facebook. I'd like to thank you all for joining us today. This has been fantastic. I would like to also encourage you to come to Facebook for Business. It's facebook.com/business, and check out our Pages Messaging Best Practices Guide. We update that on a quarterly basis. There's tons of great information there, a couple of case studies, and we are going to have a new update for that coming in the next few weeks. So I would encourage you to bookmark that. We're going to keep adding more information there. And of course, the Facebook for Business blog, so if you go to facebook.com/business and click on news, is a phenomenal place to keep an eye on all of our newest features and tools. So again, thank you so much for joining. This has been a real pleasure. I hope you have a wonderful weekend and enjoy the holiday. Thank you.